You're looking for production tips and techniques for electronic music? You're at the right place. I'm Casate Cruz and today we are breaking down my song Loved. In this video I'm gonna show you how I made this progressive house track, give you insights in the production process and provide you with useful mixing and song building techniques. Or just to give you a look behind the scenes how I produce my music. And without further ado, let's get started. So the backbone of this song is the vibe of the drums. And I think in electronic music production, it is underestimated a lot how impactful drums and drum mixing are for the whole soundscape of the song. In this song, we start with the kick, which is layered with snapback. And we also have a vibey bass line with some 16th notes. You can, by the way, come up with a lot of pretty unique bass patterns when you just put some 16th notes on the grid of a bar. So fill the complete bar with 16th notes and then delete some of them. Just like that. So the next very important element is a tom. And this is overall a very cool thing to stay creative when you just use a sample and then only take a tiny chunk of the whole loop. In this case, I only took the first two hits. And it plays slightly off grid between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 of one bar. And now I think you get when I'm saying that the drums contribute a lot to the whole soundscape and the vibe of the song. So now let's apply some effects. First of all, blood overdrive for some saturation. Then an EQ to cut the low and the low mid frequencies. And very important, reverb that is very wide. And now the tom sounds very different and fits in perfectly into the whole song. And now together with kick and bass. And then halfway through the section, a rolling head and also an open head come into the picture. Et voila, we have a full drum loop. The next important piece is a plug, and if you already know me and my productions, vocals. But first let's focus on the plug that is made in Serum, started off a preset with some 8th notes. The interesting part, as always, is the mixing. We have blood overdrive for saturation to enhance the harmonics. Then thermal for distortion and also to make the sound much wider. EQ, we're cutting the low frequencies, we don't want anything on the low end except for kick and bass. Then OTT, so up and down multiband compression, the depth of 20%. And Pancake, a free panning plugin from Cable Guys to pan the signal from left to right and right to left, which makes a very cool effect when you're listening on monitors or headphones. And Kickstart for some simple sidechaining and also to create a vibey and jumpy sound. So with all these effects, we basically drag the sound in all directions, up and down, left and right, and this leads to a very full dynamic. And now let's have a look on the vocals. There's actually not that much to say because overall the sound of the vocals was quite the perfect fit for this track. I flipped them a little bit to vary from the original loop.
Not sleeping on this party, I'm in it for the night. You find me where my heart is. What if I cross the line?
Then I put on BB tubes, which is perfect for vocal saturation. EQ again to cut the low frequencies. And then delay and reverb for some extra effect and busyness kind of on the sound.
Not sleeping on this party, I'm in it for the night. You find me where my heart is. What if I cross the line?
So now let's put vocals, a pluck, and all of the drums together for our first part before the drop.
Not sleeping on this party, I'm in it for the night. You find me where my heart is. What if I cross the line? And I'm just getting started. I'm in it for the ride. Wait till you see me fly. Wait till you see me fly.
So you maybe also heard this drone step sound, but we'll get there in a second. Alright, next up, the drop. And this is a very good example on what I always preach. Simplicity is key. I like to play around with mixing and automations rather than making overcomplicated melodies. We're in electronic music after all. But naturally it is also depends on the personal preference and available skills of every producer. So this melody is made in Serum with a bunch of 16th and 1/8 notes, so it's very simple, and this section right here repeats throughout the whole drop. And excitement and variation come from the automations. So the main ingredient here is this green automation here. It's the filter cutoff in Serum. So with this we open up the filter quite drastically halfway through the drop. And we also have a lot of mixing going on. So this is the main lead without all the effects. Very staccato and very boring. But the effects make a huge difference. So first of all we have a filter, it's the purple automation right here. So the lead fades slowly in the build-up section before the drop hits. As always, to enhance the harmonic saturation. This time Camel Crusher for distortion. It's a free plugin that I highly recommend. Already a major difference, right? And EQ and delay and reverb. And we have stereo enhancer, OTT and kickstart. So we have a massive bright and wide soundscape with a little bit of sidechaining. And last but not least, the cherry on top, another lead layer with the same melody but a different sound in Serum. The plug from earlier also plays in this section but is filtered down and therefore sent to the back a little bit. And it's also simplified so that only the root note plays, so we have no tonal difference. This way it just fits in better in this drop section. And for a little bit more spice, we have an anima-inspired drone step sound made in Serum 2 and processed with saturation, EQ and kickstart. First of all, unprocessed. And now processed. The drums in this section are also more or less the same. We have our kick, we have our bass. Halfway through we have our rolling head and our open head. A little bit of the tom, but most of the time it isn't playing in the drop. And what's new is a clap. A clap with a bunch of reverb. And that's it, we have a drop. And that wraps the song breakdown up. I hope you learned a thing or two and got some inspiration for your own projects. If you like this video, please give thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Your support means the world. I upload a lot of videos like these with production insights on electronic music. So make sure to subscribe and also check out my last song breakdown with another progressive house track. If you have any questions, ask away in the comments down below, and if you want to collab, DM me. Until then, have an amazing day or night and see you soon.